Hi guys, welcome to the unboxing and full review of this ieGeek Security Camera for auto. It's wireless. It says Wi-Fi 360 degrees PTZ camera with 15,000 milliampere hours battery. That's huge, but it comes even with this solar panel. It has two-way audio, motion detection, 1080p, night vision, SD, cloud, and so on. What's good here, we have a really good brand. It's from ieGeek. I've already tested a couple of these cameras from this manufacturer and all of them have been really working good, reliable. And this camera works with this CloudEdge app, which is also a good thing, a very reliable app. Actually, they only removed the footage sharing from SD card, but there's a workaround, so you don't have to be worried about that. I still love this app, one of my favorite apps for security camera. So we have actually everything what we need. It comes for a decent price. It's not super cheap, but also not very expensive. I think for the price, it's a very attractive package. And yeah, here regarding the packaging as well, some information, website. So it's definitely not a no-name. It's a very well-known brand, especially regarding security cams. Here we have it. So by the way, what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to take it out, I'm charging it, I'm connecting it to the app. I'm not going to show you all the details, but if there's something special, I will definitely show you. I'm going to mount it outside. I will show you some footage, how good it works. I'm going to show you some footage during from day and night. Looks like we get a nice instructions manual here. I hope you can see that. Here's some more information. I hope it's nicely focusing here so you can read everything. But I mean, they have the homepage. You should find all the information also there. Probably some warranty information, user manual. I mean, that's definitely too much. I'm not going to show you everything. I mean, first thing, it's very simple usually, and second thing, you will find everything online. Most of the things are self-explaining. Here we have the QR code if you can't find it everywhere, but the app you find in the official store. That's also a very good thing. So usually this kind of camera we can just take out of the box and install without reading the instruction manual. That's really good. And we get nice solar panel, matte, nice finish. Everything looks good, solid. Of course we cannot remove it here, but this is how it is usually with these waterproof panels. And it has the standard tripod mount, but I guess we get a mount here as well from the packaging. And here's the camera. Of course, a rather heavy, large camera, but it is with this PTZ. Of course, it needs a certain size, but it's a beautiful one. Looks very, very nice. One of the most beautiful PTZ cameras which I've ever seen. Looks really nice. We get the opening here for the micro SD card at the bottom. This is what we like, probably on, off, reset, micro SD card. This is how it should be. We get also these antennas which you can turn around and then optimize the reception. And let's see how this mount looks. So we mount this first to the wall and then add the camera and we secure it from the side. This looks really good, solid. And here there are the 4 screws and of course also some mounting screws for the plate. And here's the additional mount for the solar panel for here. Yeah, that's pretty much standard. I prefer plastic, but this is okay. This is pretty much standard what we get these days. And we get this charging cable which you can use to give it a first charge before we put it outside. It's always recommended. And after that we have the USB to charge the camera, micro USB. And we attach it here. That's the opening here for the power underneath. We could use it like this, but we get even an extra opening here in the middle. If we are using the standard solar panel from here, then it should perfectly fit. It's a little bit difficult behind the camera, but usually it works pretty good. You can see, so we have a nice cover here, even against rain. I mean, it's on the downside anyways, so nothing should happen actually, but we get even this additional protection absolutely perfect. So I'll give it the first charge here. It's a different cable, but doesn't matter. You see the red light. Of course, we have to remove this cover here for the connection, because usually CloudEdge is working with the camera to connect, so we have to give a nice clear view. So let's add the microSD card. Of course, the microSD card is not included, which is also like a standard. What's really important is to use really good quality microSD cards. Here I'm using SanDisk, but my actual preference now is Samsung, because it's much easier to take out of the packaging. But they are about same price, and you cannot save a lot of money when you're using cheap microSD cards. So make sure that you buy something good quality. I think the pins come to the front, how it looks. What I like is that we have this flap here, or this cover attached, so you cannot lose them. I have already lost some cameras where I have lost the lid, and then I had to dump it into trash because I didn't have any protection anymore. So we long press, I guess. Let's long press and see if it goes into power. If you see a change, yeah, it starts with the red light. I think we don't have to use the reset. If you need to reconnect or you're selling this thing, then it's of course recommended to do a reset. I think when it comes from the factory, usually we don't have to reset, but let's see. Sometimes camera will say ready to connect. I didn't hear anything. So let's go to the app. If you haven't downloaded, download the CloudEdge app. So here we have the CloudEdge. You can see I have already a couple of cameras here. And so let's click on the plus. We have a battery camera. By the way, this camera of course is not recording 24/7. It's just recording when it detects something with the PIR sensor. There's a passive infrared sensor here, and if it detects some heat, something which is warmer than the environment, it will start recording. This is how it works, and for that reason it does not work behind a window or so. That's the only disadvantage of the PIR usually compared to optical motion detection, but some of the PIR sensors these days are really good, and they are sometimes even working better than optical motion detection. So we have it already turned on. Let's click on next.
Holding the reset button for 5 seconds.
Yeah, okay.
Wait for the indicator light to flash red.
So let's see, I mean it's flashing red, so I think we really don't have to reset. Click on next.
The Wi-Fi network you want to sync with. Please choose a 2.4G network, then enter your network password.
So that's really important here. Connect to a 2.4 gigahertz network, Wi-Fi network, which you are usually using at home. Don't use the 5G. This camera is only working with 2.4 gigahertz. This is pretty much standard because it has more wireless reach. And make sure that you are already connected to the same 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi network already with your phone before you're starting to connect. And then click on change Wi-Fi, add the password. I have it already here on this app, so I don't have to give it again. We click on next. So here we get another confirmation about the password. And then we have to remove the film. Yeah, we have already done this, and it will display a QR code. We click on next. This is the QR code. We hold it in front of the camera, not too far, not too close. I hope it will recognize that. We have the blinking light. Yeah, now we get the confirmation, and then we can click on next. We can change the name. I change it to the model type, which is ZS-GX1S, and we click on done, and we have the camera already. Let's see if we can get an image here. New version of the firmware found. Of course, it's good to upgrade at the beginning and not later. Yeah, it didn't take too long. Let's go back here. So here we get the live image. You can see there's a blue light here and the red light. So here we can use the PTZ control. You can see, I mean, we can either use it directly on the screen itself, so just push it to the side. You can see how the camera is moving, or we can use this PTZ control here. It looks like the battery is at least 50% charged, so I think it's very good. Wi-Fi 95%, so I'll put it outside, leave it like that and test it for a little bit and then finalize the video. So I've been mounting the camera outside and I've been using it for a couple of days, and now here's my final conclusion. Of course, you will have to mount it. Here I had to drill into concrete outside to give it a little bit of a good hold. I've only made 2 holes and I mounted it like this. I think it's not needed for the 4 screws if you have some really good hold. Only 2 screws is definitely enough here on this place. Yeah, one thing maybe is important also to tell you. Here in this scene you can see that I didn't mount it right on the corner, and that was definitely a disadvantage. I highly recommend to be careful where you mount it. I lost a lot of view here because I didn't mount it on the corner. Make sure that you find out where the camera can really point, so you do not lose a lot of vision here. The thing which I really did here, unfortunately. Yeah, so here is how to mount. I mean, at the end when you have mounted the plate, it's very easy to secure, and after that if you want to remove it also, of course, very good here. At the very end you will have to attach the power, of course, from the solar. Yeah, here's the solar on this side. I've been able to reuse an old drill hole here on this side to mount the solar panel. So at the end I also stored the leftover from the excess cable here in the back of the solar panel. Yeah, here are also some pictures, maybe it helps. Yeah, here you can see that better. Here I'm really maybe 1 inch away from the edge here, and that cost me a lot of vision. So here it is, another couple of images, and it's so interesting. So I have a couple of pictures and also videos, live footage and so on from the camera. You can see here's during the night with the illumination from the camera. You can see quality is pretty good. In this picture here, I mean, it's not like a DSLR camera, but it is definitely sufficient. Here shooting from the day, you can see, I mean, we have already good picture during the night, but we have much better image during the day. But of course also here no DSLR quality, but it is definitely sufficient as long as we are on HD. Then one thing I noticed regarding the viewing angle, I can't remember how it's listed, but I would say it's around 100 degrees. I've measured this from here to the left side, which is around 90 degrees here. So we have a little bit of extra here. So the whole viewing angle is about 100 degrees. Then some live footage from the night, and unfortunately you can see that the quality is not really good when things are moving. I mean, this is something which the camera has been recording on its own, and you can see it's quite blurred. We can continue a little bit, and you can see no matter where I stop this thing, it's almost impossible to see anything without extra light, just with the illumination from the camera. Yeah, it's pretty blurred here, unfortunately. I keep it running. I mean, as soon as there is no movement around anymore, that's a good quality, but as soon as there's something moving, yeah, the compression is just too high. Another thing here, absolutely nothing moving. You can see we are moving the camera around during the night, and you can see it's nice, it's good quality. Everything is focusing. I mean, there's definitely some kind of autofocus. We can even go pretty close. Unfortunately here, of course, it's too close, but you can see we can move the camera around by more than 360 degrees. We can point it to the left side, of course, as long as we are moving. The picture is not very sharp, but when we go back here to the left side, you can see this is more than 360 degrees. And here you can see, go a little bit back here so you can see that again.
So here there's a lot of footage, a lot of view, which I've been blocking here by this kind of mounting here. I was definitely too far away from the corner. There's another shot. I mean, this is not from this camera, that's from another camera to show how the illumination works. I'm moving here from the other camera. The ieGeek camera is on the left side here, and as soon as I'm approaching this area, you can see that the light turns on. This is working really good. Regarding the sensitivity, you can see that the camera is really sensitive. So the good thing is that it will catch you probably pretty soon, or whoever is moving around. I let this thing run, and you can see it caught me before I reached the camera. This is really important. A lot of such cameras, especially PIR cameras, are not detecting persons before they reach the camera, especially when people are walking really fast, and this is what I did. And so I'm glad that it definitely caught me before I reached the camera. So it caught me from the front, which is of course really important, and also from the back when I was coming from the left side. That should happen soon. Here in this image you can see it caught me really fast, so I was visible in the whole way to the fence. Then I'm going to the live view here, so I hope I can show you that. I mean, the router is pretty far away, I can tell you, and the Wi-Fi shows still around 70%, sometimes even a little bit more. And you can see we can switch between HD and SD. We can go into full screen and record, make screenshots right away, start, stop recording. We can talk to people or listening here. We can move the camera around. We can add this control here, so we can start moving around the camera. Here, sunset, really nice. Can move it to the left side. And now you can see it even a little bit better. If I had moved out the camera, if I had mounted it more to the outside, I would have much better vision here on this side. So let's move it back to the other side. You can see, you can turn it pretty fast. Of course, what's important here to say, the PIR, the passive infrared sensor, is only working when you point the camera towards something. It cannot work on the side or so. You have to decide where you're pointing it, and there's also the PIR sensor, and there it is working only in this area. In other areas it's not working. But you can see it works really good, even though the wireless router is really far away. Really happy how good this really works. So here we have also the full controls. We can go then to the settings. Of course, we have to turn on notification. We can share device. We have basic information. You can see 72% Wi-Fi reception. We even have an installation guide here, which we can invoke if you don't have the information anymore. Some basic information regarding speaker, 12-hour setting. We can flip the screen if you have mounted it on like top on the ceiling, where I can activate the night vision, the infrared, or let it do automatically power management. You can see it's on 30%. When I mounted it, it was on 20%. So even though it doesn't have a lot of sun in this area, it's on the side on the house where it only has some sun for about 2 or 3 hours in the afternoon, it has been charging. Some power saving options here, so we can add a shooting interval or maximum shooting time, which I didn't do. Motion detection, I have it on a level 8. Of course, depends on the area where you have mounted it. If you have a lot of large trees, branches, bushes, those things, then you can set it, adjust it to where you have mounted it, so it works perfectly. Alarm intervals, I have it off, and also night and day detection. You can even make an alarm plan to exclude some times where it's too busy or so. We can set the recording time on 10, 20, 30 minutes, but there's nothing where we can say it should stop like after some movement is detected. Here the remaining capacity of the SD card and cloud storage, which we could buy. Device version, if you want to upgrade, yeah, here at the moment looks like there's nothing to upgrade. By the way, here we have the alert history. We can go to the calendar and select something like a day where you think something has happened, and you can see the whole alert history here. And the crazy thing is, I've been going through all these recordings here, and I haven't found anything like any false alerts. That's crazy. So only when things were moving, then it has been recording, otherwise not. I mean, you can see on Sunday the 31st, there was not a single recording. There's nothing. You cannot even click on that here on the calendar, because there is really nothing. The whole day from morning till evening, it hasn't been triggering a single false alert. And since I haven't been there in the area, nobody from our family has been there, so there was no recording. So till now I can definitely confirm that I'm really happy with it. Everything works exactly as I wanted. It has really good reception, good power management, good detection, everything, good control. The only downside is maybe the video quality during the night, but it's hard to find something perfect. So I would say at this price point I can give you full recommendation on that, and I'll put down the link to the Amazon listing down into the description, so you can check it out and order it right from there if you like it. And I hope I've been able to help you a little bit with this video. If you have any questions or comments, just write to the comment section below, and I'm always happy to talk about your things. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching, see you next time.